This was a young male, somebody who could get into the house and get out in that neighborhood without being seen.
Someone who knew the victim or victims, knew the layout of the house, knew how to get entry into the house. There was no indication of forced entry. No.
I don't think it was two people, because the more people you have going into that house, the more likely it is that they were going to be seen. So I think it's one male, young enough to have been in that neighborhood.
He had to be somewhat confident.
Bryan Kohberger's sister Amanda was going to have to testify for the prosecution. Is this what drove the defense team to run begging to the prosecution for a plea deal? This video is for adults only. Viewer discretion is advised. Everything I'm sharing is my opinion.
This is Reporter Room with Jessica Della Davies.
If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. It's free and it helps me out a lot. I know the name Bryan Kohberger, and there's a reason for this. He made sure that we wouldn't forget it, and he's still making sure that we hear his name. In his latest antics, he's now in prison, going bananas, literally, about bananas. And we have brand new information about his sister, Amanda. In October, it was revealed that Bryan Kohberger swiftly agreed to a plea deal just days after prosecutors added his sister Amanda to their witness list. Now we know why. Prosecutors intended to ask Amanda, according to Latah County prosecuting attorney Bill Thompson, he intended to call Amanda to establish certain facts about Bryan Kohberger. This was all before he moved to Pullman, Washington. So what did Bryan's family know, and when did they know it? I think that there was disturbing information to his family that should have set off alarm bells for the family members before they set him loose on the world. And I think there's a reason that the family did not want his sister Amanda to get up on the stand and tell what she knew about Bryan Kohberger. So this time period appears to be after the November 13th of 2022 crimes were committed, but before BK was arrested on December 30th. And we're going to talk about BK going bananas in just a second. But it's unclear of how many of BK's family members were considered to be on the prosecution list, but we know only one made the list, and that was Amanda. And is this because Amanda was trying to sound the alarm about the November 13th crimes? Did she suspect her brother? Or did she know potentially that the reason that Michael Kohberger made this bizarre last minute, in my opinion, they say it was planned, I disagree, trip. He flew across the country so he could drive the Hyundai Elantra that law enforcement was actively looking for. He could drive the Hyundai Elantra back with his son across the country. So it is possible that due to the close relationship that BK shared with his parents, particularly his mother, who we refer to as mother, and who he spoke to on November 13th 3 times that day, including driving back to the crime scene at around 9 a.m. that morning. It is possible that his family knew more, or at least suspected more, than they have ever let on to the public. So on his part, BK also had his family members listed for his defense. He was going to call them for the mitigation penalty of the trial. However, the prosecution would have also gotten to question his family members. So in my opinion, the family members just simply were not going to allow this to happen. So what did Michael Kohberger know when he flew across the country to help BK drive this car that law enforcement was actively looking for, this white Hyundai Elantra, across the country with not one man in the car, but 2? Did his father know? Because even when he stopped in the infamous Indiana traffic stop, he immediately begins talking about the November 13th crimes. So even if BK didn't admit anything to his parents, did his parents suspect? And is this why Amanda was being called to the stand? We have heard rumors that a family member was trying to sound the alarm and did say that she thought that BK had committed these crimes. and that she was dismissed by other family members. And so was this Amanda Kohberger, trying to sound the alarm to the family about the truth about her brother. And was this the reason that BK and his attorney, who a week before were perfectly willing to implicate 3 innocent men in these crimes internationally in a internationally televised trial, if the judge would have allowed it, Ann Taylor would have absolutely implicated 3 other men in what happened. But they made a plea deal after Amanda was going to have to take the stand on behalf of the prosecution. Now we are finding out that BK is in prison where he belongs and where he deserves to be, and he is going bananas, you guys. He is residing in the J Block maximum security prison in Idaho, and he's on the same block with Chad Daybell. And since his arrival, BK has been complaining and whining about everything, to the point where people are starting to call him Prison Karen and Prison Diva. He just finished having his 31st birthday in prison, and he's trying to get more attention for himself, probably to get more money from his supporters who are putting money on his commissary by keeping his name in the news. But his latest grievance involves bananas, literally bananas. He's complaining about the bananas that he's getting in prison. I don't know if they have too many brown spots or not enough brown spots, but BK's not happy with his bananas and he wants the world to know about it. He's complaining about his food. You can't make this up. This is just absolutely ludicrous. And it's just another way, in my opinion, of BK to get his name in the public arena. But before he complained about the bananas, BK slammed the food standards at his facility. He complained because, he's a strict vegan, even though he bought a K-bar knife in March of 2022, a knife that is designed to be used on human beings, along with a knife sharpener and a knife sheath, and did away with 4 innocent people. He's supposedly a strict vegan. I think it's because BK wants special treatment. He has been entitled his whole life. I think, in my opinion, that his parents have let him rule the roost. This is a man who has never been held accountable for his behavior, not ever. Even by WSU, when he was being reported, mass reported, for following female students out to their cars, for blocking the entrances and exits to his classroom with his body and forcing female students to go around him, for staring incessantly at female students, for grading female students differently than the male students. He was never held accountable, not a single time. And so now he's in prison, finally facing accountability for what he did to Kaylee, Maddie, Ethan, and Xana. And he's still griping and complaining that he's entitled to special treatment because this is what he's gotten his whole life. His family enabled him, in my opinion. WSU enabled him, in my opinion. And it sounds like Dr. Kathleen Ramslin, his professor at DeSalles, also enabled him, in my opinion. He's used to getting his way. So now he is finally facing the consequences of what he did to 4 innocent young people and for terrorizing Dylan and Bethany. And he doesn't like it. And that's good. Prison shouldn't be fun. It shouldn't be easy. But, he's alive. And that's more than the family members who just had to go through Thanksgiving holiday without their loved ones again, without Kaylee, without Maddie, without Ethan, without Santa. His family at least knows he's alive, but he's not grateful. He's not appreciative. He's not thankful. He's just entitled and spoiled, and now demanding that his bananas be served to his specific liking. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. It's free and it helps me out a lot. Give this a thumbs up and drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section below.